jumping right in, I think we have a couple of fun questions lined up for you, Himanshu. What first one would be, right? In today's scenario, while booking cabs, which is your go-to app?
Booking scenario, I think.
I'll rephrase that. What is one hack a person in Bangalore can use to get a booking on a ride-hailing app?
I think there is no hack. There is no hack. What the hack I use, at least, so I have 3 apps in my phone: Rapido, Uber, Ola.
Same.
I basically start booking all at a time. Matlab, at a time.
Right.
जो भी पहले मिल गया, that's my right.
That is exactly what I follow as well. But yeah, good to get
And
it
it's
validated.
not about like जो पहले मिल गया. It's like जो पहले मिलने के बाद आ गया पहले.
हाँ, cancel
जब
नहीं
तक
किया.
वो आया नहीं, तब तक I do not cancel other rides as well.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a similar experience. But no, thanks for sharing. Do you want to go deeper into why is supply crunch today? What is the challenge the industry is facing? Would you have any insights on this? I know you don't directly work on ride hailing, but any external non-Ola employee insights that you'd want to share on this?
I don't know actually why it happens in a way. My understanding, because when I used to stay in Gurgaon and I never felt such a crunch over there.
Right.
I think in Bangalore, what I generally observed is with the people are entrepreneurial in nature over here. So I would say what I meant by this is that any person who is working for themselves, they have a reputation for themselves in a way that I will decide what my working time would be. I will decide what I want to do. I'll decide exactly how will I want to serve. So, and it works with every business here. Like you talk to delivery partner, I talk to one kabadi wala, and then so they had a way. My maid basically they used to take leaves on Sundays over here, but it was not the same scenario in Gurgaon. So I felt like people are generally very much in control of themselves, that what they want to do. They have a life beyond their work. They think about that. They say, okay, I'll give time to myself or my family or something which I truly like other than my work, which I really appreciate about actually. So could be the reason that people are like, nahi jana yaar abhi. So maybe they have turned it off or they don't want to accept it.
Fair enough. No, yeah, that's a great point. On work-life balance, since we're on that point, Himanshu, historically, how many hours do you generally work? What's your day looking like these days?
I generally try to work for approximately 9 to 10 hours.
Okay.
To basically give a fair amount of visibility to my team and collaborate with them on a daily basis. It's usually a meeting with the different stakeholders and trying to clarify or provide the right insights or the communication to them. Majorly other than this, I spend 1 or 2 hours on the documentation part separately.
Okay.
But other than this, I don't do. And this is variable bit. Like it gets reduced to 8 hours also in some days. But yeah, electric currently needs.
Electric, right? Yeah. Do you believe in what is your take on work-life balance? Right? Do you see 9 to 5, 5 days a week? Do you work on weekends? For young people entering this industry, where everyone's talking about you need to hustle, work hard. What part of the sphere are you on?
Coming from again my journey, like where I started,
exactly.
I never seen Saturday, Sundays over there. Yeah. I have not. I built a hustle mindset for myself.
Fair.
So I always talk about that. Please hustle. What's the point of doing a work which is not inspiring you? Are you inspired enough? If you are inspired enough, you will go to work, right? Yeah. You will try to keep thinking about it. You will try to build for it. But whenever you also need time for yourself, you should be in an organization which will giving you that time, which will giving you that space. Okay, you want to take a 4-hour break, you will be able to take that. You want to have a weekend off, you want to travel, you want to have your personal stuff, they should be able to allow you that. It should not be a problem that way. When it's forceful, that's a problem. When it's two-way, because you also want to do it, they also want to do it. When you need a time, they are giving it to you. And when you want to do more, they are rewarding you. I think that's a fruitful relationship. So
Right.
when we are seeing it from only one side, obviously that will be a problem. So if you when organizations being pushy, obviously every employee is going to dislike it. And when the employees are overdoing and where it is not required, then also it's a problem, right? So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, Last couple of questions. This one on tech salaries and downturns, right? We're entering a period where we're seeing layoffs all around. How should someone approach the next appraisal cycle?
very interesting question. So I would
Or
say
negotiation in general, right? Let's generalize it a little more. How would you look at say you think you deserve X% raise, market's probably going into a downturn. Should you start looking at for new opportunities? Should you always be on the lookout? Should you have a very open conversation with your manager, if at all? And lots of us, I think, come from a culture where we're not as good as negotiating as Western counterparts, right? How does one become better at this?
sure. So again, my take will be, in a way, what I usually follow here is that you should be honest with yourself, right? Because if you are not, you are sulking into yourself, right? And if you are not facing a problem today, you will going to face it later, right? Very soon you're feeling bad about the scenario, the decision you have taken. So you should talk to your manager very honestly, first of all. uh, Another core principle here is that do not go for a job, go for a career. Okay, what do I mean by career is that you are looking for a next opportunity, but next opportunity should not be in a way which is just giving you more money, or the one thing which you are looking at. You should be looking at it in a broader way, where you want to go in next 30 years, right? Even if you don't have a visibility, at least you can see 10 years, right? So if I'm able to see what I want to do, I definitely know that I want to be running some startup again, or building some cool product later. How my next job or my current job is preparing me for that role. If it is not, then it's not gonna, it doesn't matter, because if I'm even get a huge paycheck, I'm going to improve my lifestyle, I'm going to spend on house or my other necessities, and eventually that will be over. But my uh, the मन नहीं भरेगा, बोलते हैं ना इसको, कि लाइक फुलफिलमेंट वाला फीलिंग नहीं आएगा, कि एग्जैक्टली you will not feel satisfied with that. So that, for feeling that yeah, I'm enjoying this, I want to be here, that should be there. Obviously we are not talking about those folks here who are just working for the survival, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about these people who are already into tech, who are getting fat paychecks, right? They're into product or they're into design, and they are doing well for themselves. But just to get a better paycheck, they are compromising on their work style or the location or something else, which they are not liking themselves, but they are doing it. I don't think so. It's worth it.
Himanshu, how do you know you're paid fairly? Is it Glassdoor? Is it pay scale? Is it asking your friends? But like, how do you even know ki, the offer that I'm getting is am I deserving of that? Should I, negotiate for more or less? Like you mentioned, right? That satisfaction of thing, does it have to come internally? Is it benchmarks externally? How do you do it though?
Very interesting. So again, human psychology plays over here a lot. Sometimes when you're feeling low and you realize the scenario that if you get fired tomorrow, how will you make such amount of money by yourself? Right?
Interesting.
Then you feel, oh, I am paid nicely, right? And the one day when you hear about, oh, my friend is getting this much, and he's also like on a similar level, then you feel, oh, why I am not getting it? I am doing something wrong over there. So it's a very relative scenario, right? It's a very relative scenario. I think, again, obviously it's very much internal, but as humans, we are complex. We have a complex brain. So we cannot be thinking about, oh, I know that it's my thinking, but I cannot fix it now, because you cannot fix it that way. So the way to handle this is, yes, you should definitely look for the benchmarks in the industry, and then you should talk to your employer that in this industry, for this particular role or for this particular work, this is the salary which is given to the people. So you should talk about that. And if they are not, and if somebody else is trying to give it to you, which where you also feeling resonated with the work and everything else, I think you should jump the ship. Why not?
Nice.
We are
No, thanks.
working. Money is also important factor for the work, definitely.
100%. No, thanks for sharing that. I know I told I'll keep this a little bit fun, and I think we got too serious in these rapid fire. But last 2-3 questions, I'm promising these will be a little more fun. Himanshu, you worked across startups. What's been your favorite swag that you've received, or something that you think you wanted to receive?
No, so basically, like it was all my startups. We don't have any swag earlier.
Okay.
Working at a startup and writing, like literally, we are the founder of this startup, was the swag.
Okay.
Was
Right.
the swag, I would say.
Nice.
But recently, I've received LinkedIn Accelerator swag.
Yes.
I have received swag from Ola.
Yes.
Amazing, like creativity and work.
Nice. Congratulations on the LinkedIn Cap program. I think that is amazing. Any tips and tricks for other people looking to get in? I think these are in batches, right? Like first batch. You guys were part of the first batch. Anything that you'd like to share? How has your experience been there?
So it's recently started only. We didn't have any official sessions on the learning part, but my personal experiences is saying that if you are feeling inferior about writing or about that, how will you able to express? I would say stop self-rejection and start doing it. The moment you start doing it, you will start getting confidence, and people will also be appreciating eventually. One person appreciating you that they have read your post and they are finding value in it is more than enough than 100 naysayers. Also, we were in the kickoff event, and the founder of NAS Academy, who has a 50 million followers, he said one thing which is super amazing. If you have a 1 million followers, you should expect 20% of the people will be not liking what you are doing, or will be commenting that this is not something great. Why are you even doing it? Or they're trying to basically go into a different direction altogether. So you should focus on the other remaining 800. You're trying to create value for those, right? So always focus on them and don't get upset about the other 200K.
No, that's a great advice. To be honest, I think, I think this is something every content creator is something that will fail. We will definitely host you on part 2 to go deeper into these two. But last question, I think this is more of a closing thoughts of sir. Anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to, people who've helped you during this journey, or anything that you'd love to leave our listeners with, even just the trajectory that you've had, and the situation that, the next 6-12 months will be for us. The closing space is yours.
So obviously, like I have seen the MS Dhoni movie, and I realized at that point of time, you cannot become an MS Dhoni by yourself. There are people behind you who help you to be there. Starting from the college itself, there are folks, but I'll talk about Manish, who was my techie friend, who is like my best friend ever. There's another guy called Shashi. When we launched the first venture, he was the person who just bet on me. He has given me money. I'll invest in you. You start. You do whatever you want. I'll be there for you. You do not need to bother about anything. And if I need money, I just need to reach out to him. He will be sponsoring. So he was like my first angel investor over there, Shashi Anand. And he was my college senior. There was a guy, Priyank Jha. He was a very good friend, product manager at Paytm, and amazing guy who was in this journey. He hosted me in Gurgaon for a long period of time and helped me to build my venture over there in some time. Post that, like Raghav Ravi was a great support. Asif again was a third wheel of this entire Kalad space, and we've had a great run. Love them all. Uske baad, Khushbu and Tanmay were the people at founders of Xyla. They believed in me. I think I would not have worked with Khushbu, I do not think I would be such a great product person.
Nice.
A lot of credits to her for like helping me in what I am today. And here at Ola, there are folks like left, right, center. I would name so many product managers over here. Vivek Agarwal, he's a senior PM in earlier he used to be in Ola Cars, then Ola Electric, now Ola Financial Services. He's doing so much over there.
Yes.
There's a guy Viren who is building a product into Web3 space. There's another guy Salman Anubhav. There's our leader Madhur. There's another folks like Ronak, and mainly obviously Shonal, Anirban. They are the industry leaders and they are helping us on different stages and helping me to grow every day. So very fortunate to be in such situation.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing that. I think we often just miss out on just calling out people who've helped us, right? So thanks for taking your time to share that. Himanshu, it was amazing chatting with you, and we hope to catch up with you once again down the road to hear how your journey has evolved since this conversation and go deeper into the stuff that you shared. Yeah, thanks once again for joining us today.
Are we not having that rapid fire? Where is our rapid fire?
Unfortunately, we've just crossed way too much on this episode, and that's the reason I had to edit this part out. But we will do a separate bit on the rapid fire for sure.
Sure, 100%.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Himanshu, for joining in. I think this was amazing.
Thank you, Suhas. Thank you so much.